so insane.
Hello and welcome to the Madhouse, episode 109. I'm
live!
3, the host of this podcast, and joining me for this episode I have...
I'm Chakky and I'm a weeb.
And I'm bigdinoguy. I'm back, bitches.
So Lucas will be joining us shortly because he's having some things he's got to do, but he'll be joining us shortly. But
And some
I
business
figured
I need to attend to.
yeah, he's got
I
some
wouldn't
business
ask
to
if
get
he'd
to.
have to kill you.
But he'll be joining us a little later, so no worries. But I wanted to talk about a certain thing. We talked about this before a while ago, but more in particular, I actually want to change the idea of the subject to talk about video game movies that we've gotten, the good ones at least, because there have been some shitty ones that we've gotten, and we're going to do those anyway. But also some good ones, and I want to talk about those ones, and then I also want to branch off and talk about the ones that we could be getting, like the ones you want, whether it be a live-action movie, a series, or a computer-animated / hand-drawn / whatever kind of show like that that's from a video game, or anime, or whatever that is adapted from a video game. So,
I got a couple ideas already.
All right, go for it.
One show that I mentioned earlier was the Castlevania. For those of you that might not be aware, Castlevania was an older video game.
Still series to this day.
Yeah, it was like on the Atari.
It was on the
game.
NES.
It was an old one, okay? And it was
Yeah.
extremely popular and was hailed as one of the hardest. My dad, who has been a video game entrepreneur for years, I mean, he loves his games when he was able to play them. I mean, he absolutely adored that game and a few others. But recently, Castlevania came out with a anime on Netflix. Unfortunately, I myself haven't really had a chance to play a whole lot of the games, and I haven't been able to complete any yet. But that TV show is absolutely fucking wild. I mean, oh my god, it is just...
There we go, Lucas. Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so Lucas is... I told you he would be back.
Now,
Okay, so go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Lucas, and that's about all that matters.
Alright, anyway, that's Lucas. So he's finally joining us. Sorry about that. He was a bit late. He had to take care of himself. No worries. Okay, so continue, Big Daddy Guy.
Oh yeah, but welcome, Lucas. But no,
Hi.
it's absolutely just phenomenal. I mean, the way that season 1, I must admit, was probably the better of the two so far. But season 2 is just, both of them are absolutely fucking brutal. Retellings of the classic story. I mean, I haven't played a whole lot of the games, but I know basically the gist and the lore of it, and I was super impressed. My dad was messaging me saying, "You gotta watch this shit right now." And little do you know, I was right in the middle of episode 5.
Already way ahead of you.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, if you want to see good video game adaptations, that one probably takes the cake. Anyway, that's my answer.
Oh, yeah, sounds like it's a really impressive show.
It's certainly not for everyone, though. It's very, very violent.
Yeah.
Totally worth it.
And is this an anime that it was adapted into?
Yeah, so it's adapted into an anime on Netflix.
Okay. All right. I mean, I personally wouldn't be watching it, but it's good to know about an adapted show, an adapted video game.
Oh,
That's one of them. That's one of them. So, the other one that I saw, there's two of them that I saw that were actually really, really good, were Tomb Raider that came out back in March, and then we also had Assassin's Creed that came out on December 21st, 2016, and I actually got to see that Thursday night preview. It was actually a really, really, really good movie, especially a video game. But the thing about that movie was that it had an original story. So if you've never played a single, or if you played a few of the Assassin's Creed games, like let's say the first two, then it's an original story. It takes the same elements and same ideas from the series, but it's a whole different scenario. You have a unique assassin. It's all different, and it's again the same game world. Yeah, same game world, but it's a new version of these, a new character, which is very, very cool. And then for the Tomb Raider movie, it said it was based off the 2013 game. It was not. It took inspiration from it. A lot of the same stuff that you see in the game they use as inspiration, like to kind of grab that's an element we can use, that's an idea, and they put that for the movie. But the story was completely different from the game itself. And the game there is a shipwreck that happens, and the movie is also a shipwreck, but the story of the movie is different than the game. Which I was like, okay, that's cool, I guess. I don't know how to be perfect, but I feel like a lot of the games we're getting now into that kind of movies aren't taking the original game story. They're just having all original stuff, which I don't know. I don't know. Do you think that's a bad thing? I definitely think it's interesting. It's a lot more interesting when you do it that way.
Well, I think it depends on the kind of franchise. Like, later on, we're going to be talking about more games that we'd like to see adapted into other forms of medium.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't want to get into that right now, but like right now, I'm playing Mass Effect.
Oh yeah.
And that one, because there's so many stories to tell within that one mythos.
Yeah.
I mean, you can easily turn it into a TV show or movie.
Yeah.
So in that regard, yes, I think that is a good thing that some people are doing.
Yeah, I think that with the movies that I mentioned, they didn't get good reviews, but it doesn't necessarily they were bad movies. They were terrific movies. I love them. I having played those games, at least a couple of those games, I was familiar with the characters and the world. But the critics like the planet, that's their fault. If they don't like it, it wasn't faithful to the game. It was like, who gives a shit? It's a movie, and I enjoyed it. I don't care if it got 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. It was a good movie. So, it was really good. That really a video game where it's made into a movie, and yet it's not perfect. Of course, it's not made perfect, but it's gonna be a really good attempt. And not everyone's gonna like it, but some people are gonna like it, and that's what matters. So
that's also kind of the same thing with me and my beef with the Predator, the new movie, because I've talked about this a few times, but it's general audience versus the hardcore fans. The hardcore fans, better than the average viewer. Like, for example, I know exactly why the Predators are doing this, doing that, this, that. Just like that one Terminator movie where John Connor was some cyborg instead. I forget which one. What was that again? That was not Genesis.
I have never seen a single Terminator movie.
No, that was Genesis.
You're missing out.
But,
I know. I should watch it, but I haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, you need to. Watch T2, and you can see the other Terminators Wang.
I think the first one's on Netflix. I probably should check that out. I should watch it. I shouldn't.
Yeah, you
I know it's a really big deal. It's a really big movie, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. I'll watch it.
But yeah,
guys, I'm looking through.
There's a difference between the hardcore fans and just the average ones. Because the average ones, they're just like, oh, okay, this is what this is. This. Yes, they might like it, but the hardcore fans are going to nitpick and either love or dislike. So it's a 50-50 no matter how you boil it down.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the different video game adaptations and different movies on intellectual properties don't really work all that well. I mean, that one Terminator movie that I was just mentioning, that was actually a comic book, I believe, before it became a movie. My father loved it. I didn't like it.
Not for everyone. But there was a movie that could have happened, and I was very upset when they didn't actually make it. Way back when, 10 years ago, there was a April Fool's trailer for a Legend of Zelda live-action movie, and it was a joke.
And everybody was pissed because they actually wanted the movie.
And what the interesting thing about that was they actually showed you how they made the prank. It wasn't a prank. It was a prank, but it looked really good. They actually had I think they spent a very small amount of time making this thing for no reason. They got all this hair makeup and all this really cool thing to make it a genuine Zelda movie. They got Link to look really good. Actually, they got he looks kind of like a toss between Ocarina of Time and Princess, and they got the CGI looked amazing. It just in general it looked I wanted to see that. Yeah, it was a joke and it was not cool. Recently, this is kind of I don't know if we're done talking about the ones we've gotten because we've only gotten a few of them that were actually good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's quite true.
We can move on. I think we can move on to the ones we want. So
before we move on, I'm looking through a list of all of the video games that have gotten turned into movies. Apparently, the has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What has 0%?
What is it?
Tekken.
Oh God, are you serious? Oh my god! Wow.
I wonder
Didn't
how
they make
good
a
Street Fighter was.
Didn't they make a Dead or Alive movie?
Probably.
Yeah, I think they did. I never saw it, but whatever.
Mortal Kombat has they had like a TV show in the 80s.
Mortal Kombat.
yeah.
I love
Or not the
movie.
80s, the 90s, but yeah.
Oh yeah, they
The
did
Mortal
make.
Kombat movie. It's absolutely amazing. Oh my god!
I know.
love
I've
that
seen
show.
I've seen reviews
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
It's amazing. It's like so bad it's good.
It kind of is, but I grew
Yeah.
up watching it, so I love
Yeah.
I'm
it.
sorry.
Guys,
No, I grew up watching that.
What?
they're making a live action film based off the Sonic games.
What?
I want to die.
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to die too. Oh God, take me with you.
Really quick, the Street Fighter
Okay.
movie that they made in 94, 18% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ouch! Ouch! That's so sad. That's ow. But real quick, because that trailer came out and I was upset. Everyone was. Millions of people wanted to see that happen. It looks really good. And then I think a few years back, Netflix announced they were making a live action series based on Legend of Zelda, and every news source in the entertainment world was reporting like, oh, it's gonna happen. They're making a live action Zelda series from Netflix. And then Nintendo was like,
No.
we're sorry, we don't have any updates about the use of our IPs. Like, well, fuck you then.
Nintendo's
So
like,
yeah, we're not gonna get that. If we do, it'll have to be under their approval. They have to approve it first, so we can't get one of those. But and then I guess it also goes to the fact that it's like if we get something like that, when they approve it, or when that happen, it could be years from now. What kind of adaptation would you like? Like live action movie, series, animated show? What do you think?
For what?
For Zelda.
we already experienced animated Zelda shows. I don't think we need.
We're talking about a new one.
Hey, princess.
A new one, yeah.
If they ever do another Zelda thing and they don't have that line in it, I'm just gonna rage quit.
Oh yeah, that one.
Have what line?
Princess.
That was
No,
a
have
good
what
one,
line?
but
Excuse me,
Well,
excuse me.
it's-
I've seen a few episodes of that show. It has its moments. But I personally.
The entire show
I've
was a
seen like
moment.
a few shorts on YouTube about if they did a computer animated Zelda series, that could work too. That could be pretty good. I would watch that, but I would also be more impressed if they made a live action series or movie of Legend of Zelda. I would die
Okay,
for that.
because we're talking about Nintendo properties, I have to ask.
Yeah,
What
Yeah.
did you think of the Detective Pikachu?
the trailer looks amazing. We should talk about that right now. We should talk about that.
That was
I have
Reaction.
one thing to say about that. I have one thing to say about
Yeah.
that. I am so glad Reynolds decided to voice him so he can make fun of himself in Deadpool 3.
Like I
Yeah.
had no interest in that movie, and then I just heard, was seeing all over social media. Everyone's like, Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu, and I thought I missed some sort of meme. And
It looks pretty good, It's the
I
first time I
just
can
can't believe he actually voiced him.
Yeah.
I was
I
just like,
remember
why
when
is
they,
Ryan
they-
Reynolds Pikachu?
I remember when there was a fan movie of Pokemon. It was like, oh, the CG looks garbage, and it's like we're never gonna get a Pokemon thing because Nintendo's never gonna improve it. Well, I guess they did. Now we're gonna get it's adapted from a very different kind of spin-off game, but it's still a Pokemon movie. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be good.
A Pokemon movie nobody asked for.
But now
I don't
everyone
know.
wants.
No, except for
I
me.
want it. I
It's just
definitely
like,
interested in seeing it.
I never
I
asked
never
for
played
it,
that.
but I wish I had.
I never played that particular game. I've only played the miniseries and the Mystery Dungeon games, all that stuff. But
Mystery
I am
Dungeon!
excited for that kind of movie like this because this looks really good.
I need to have
has-
David fly out
if
here.
any of you,
Together.
if any of you have seen Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, which hopefully you have by now, the actor who played the one of the scientist kids, he plays his name is Justice Smith, and he's playing the main character in this movie. So if you know who I'm talking about, that
I mean, the
that
guy from
guy,
Jurassic Park?
yeah, that
Jurassic World 2. Yep. I had no idea that they were even making that movie at all, like the new Pokemon movie. But when I saw him,
In
I'm like, what? It's just like a joke thing? Oh, crap.
It's real. Crap.
Pretty much. But I love Pokemon just because of I never really played the games, but my friends growing up absolutely adored it. Just absolutely adored the games. I went over there almost every weekend, and they were playing it on their DSs, and we'd always hang out and just nerd over it like crazy.
This movie looks really good, honestly. I'm definitely happy for it.
I'm just
This is
like
the first time we've gotten
extremely
one.
put off by like the CGI, and also the fact that
Yeah.
Ryan fucking Reynolds is Pikachu.
Oh, what's wrong with that?
Why? Pikachu is supposed to be adorable, not fucking
Yeah,
Ryan
he-
Reynolds.
He is
Well,
adorable.
Well, if you see the trailer, you see that he was being fucking adorable, and they made a damn good joke out of it.
Look,
Hello.
it's Steve.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Oh,
but-
we finally got Steve
Hey,
Hi!
to join the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're talking about the
Pokemon
video
at the
game
moment.
movies thing. We're talking about the Pokemon live action movie we're getting. We're talking about different video games that are getting movies, or the ones we are getting soon, and the ones we want. We're talking about Zelda for a brief time. I know we didn't really talk about that much, but we got into the Pokemon movie because that's coming out in May, which looks really good actually.
Oh,
You know, it
does
looks surprisingly fun. But back to the Zelda thing, if you guys are interested, I think I'm more interested in actually a live action movie or a series. What do you guys think about what kind of a adaptation do you think you'd like from a Zelda movie or whatever from Zelda?
Anime.
Anime, yeah, probably that would fit the most. There was a Mario anime, like an OVA, and also a Sonic OVA.
They
They-
were both
movie were
awful. It was so great. I love
Yeah.
them.
I'd like to see live action, maybe.
I think that would be
Some
pretty
takes
good.
some
There have been a lot of fan films of that. Actually, there's one that's coming from the Zelda project, and they're doing a live action. It's been a work in progress for a while, but that could be a really good thing. I would enjoy that. But you know, I think the problem with the reason why we haven't gotten one is because again, Nintendo hasn't approved it yet. We don't want to give the RIPs up, so it's not gonna happen. But I think the movie would be good. I think
There is a Mario movie coming out.
Well,
yeah, they announced that.
Oh
part,
yeah, the Illumination Studio.
yeah, they announced
oh,
it. That
at
looks like
least it's not.
Live action again.
Yeah,
yeah,
That
it's not that.
definitely, yeah. I think that
was my favorite movie.
why?
Why?
Because it's so bad.
Oh my
Okay, well,
god,
that's-
really?
I like the Mario voice in that one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, animated.
The guy that
copyright-
played Mario, I
Mario.
forget the actor's name.
Yeah.
No, the guy that played
Charles
Mario.
Charles Martinet.
And,
Luigi.
yeah, that was also in the
You have Terminal
Who Framed
7 and
Roger
Luigi.
Rabbit. He absolutely despised his role in that movie.
I don't blame him, honestly.
And what movie?
The Super Mario movie.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
I would too. I'd regret it.
I haven't watched
We're
it.
talking about good ones, but there. We can bring up the past.
Just
We
ugh.
can bring up the ones that are bad if you want to. But yeah, I think that a computer animated Mario movie sounds like it would be actually pretty good. You know, it would actually work better
Yeah.
as an animated movie than live action because if you know how that turned out.
I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I know that there's a lot of properties. Like I know that Metroid that could have happened. I think they'll be fun. I haven't played a single Metroid title in my life.
Ooh,
Never in my life.
Oh god, I love that. I love that show.
The Metroid as a movie or a live action or a series on
that'd be awesome.
for animated. I haven't ever played the games before, but I've played like a tiny bit, but barely anything like that. But I think it'd be fun. You know, I think that'd be a cool thing. I think Brie Larson was said that she would love to play that character if it came to be.
That would be a
Um,
lot of fun to see. My dad played a lot of the Metroid Prime 1 and 2
Oh,
when I was
yeah.
growing up, and yeah, I loved those games.
Yeah, I'd say maybe I just need to see Captain Marvel as Samus Aran.
Oh yeah, that'd be
That'd
fun.
be really cool. So that's that one. I think because I don't know. Halo is a movie that I've wanted to see for a
Halo
long time.
movie?
Oh,
I know they're
God,
making a series, but I haven't. I see Spielberg making a Halo series, but nothing has happened yet. I haven't heard anything. I would love
That's
to
been
Yeah, that was
out
announced.
for years. Fans are just clamoring for it like crazy.
Exactly. I want that so much.
Why they haven't made it is just
Like,
asinine.
when did he announce that anyway? When was that announced?
That was like 5 years ago or
Oh my
something.
god, seriously? Wow.
All I know is it's been a damn long time.
Well, we've gotten a couple of like small Halo projects on the way. We've got Halo 4 and Dawn, which was actually really good. We
That was
actually, if you know the actress who played Susan from the Narnia movies, the ones they made at least. She's in the movie, and also we had I haven't seen this movie actually, but they made a tie-in to or like a prequel sort of thing to Halo 5, which I haven't seen yet. It was called Nightfall. Had Luke Cage in it, Matt Coulter himself as Spartan Locke, and also if you've seen Doctor Who, the particular episode, I think it's the episode, the Demon's Run episode. There's a girl in that who was cast in this Halo thing. So it's interesting, but that's me. I would like to see. I would actually like to see a live action series. I would like to see a movie, both of them, because I'm a big fan of Halo. But yeah, that's just like from the Microsoft properties. I don't know if there's anything really big I really heard of that could be a good movie as an actual movie.
Well, I
don't know.
I mentioned it before, and I told you I'd mention it a lot more, and I am Mass Effect.
Oh yeah,
I don't
I've
think
only
that
played a
it
little
would be
bit of
a
that.
good movie though. I think that because, like I said, there is a massive lore behind it. That's why I personally enjoy this game so much. I mean, right now I'm playing Mass Effect 3 for like the 5th freaking time.
Yeah.
Fun fact, when I was like 8 years old, I used to sit next to my dad while he was playing Mass Effect, and I would just watch him.
Oh, that's awesome. That was me
Goodness.
and my dad when he was playing games like Metroid and whatnot.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, my dad played a lot of video games when I was growing up, and they were
Same.
awesome. But anyway,
We used to play Golden Axe together on the Genesis.
I haven't played that.
It's a pretty good game. It gets kind of repetitive, but
What's the game called again? I
Golden
forget.
Axe. We've played it before, remember?
Golden Axe?
Golden Axe.
I never heard it before.
Oh,
It's
that one.
yeah, the beat 'em up game.
Yeah, the buff,
Yes.
medieval guy. Whatever.
That one.
You know what they could also do, and this is going to the Sony properties with PlayStation. They could do Sly Cooper, Spyro, Crash.
Spyro
those
movie.
games,
Oh my god, I would love a
They could
Spyro
do
movie.
a movie like that. I don't know. What do you think?
Singing.
Which version would be better? Movie, live action series, or animated show? For any of those properties. We recently
Mass
got
Effect?
remasters.
For Mass Effect, I think that it would be awesome to see a live action show. However,
Yeah,
because
I'm
of the
talking
different
about,
aliens and whatnot that they're going to
yeah.
have, they're going to need
Yeah.
to have a big ass budget.
Yeah, I'm talking about the PlayStation properties actually. Yeah, you can make a good point. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Which ones were they?
I mentioned Spyro, Sly Cooper, and Crash. The ones I've actually played. I haven't played Jack and Daxter yet, but I have played
Dude,
me neither,
Spyro.
but I played like
I think it would
I
make
played
it-
Spyro 1 in the reboot series, the new beginning, and
I
I
have
played
played a little bit of Spyro, actually.
I played Sly Cooper 1, and I think a little bit of 2, and then I've also played Crash 2. I don't know why, but I think that'd be really good. I think that if we make a Crash video game, a movie or whatever, it would not work in live action. That'd be just creepy. Imagine a Crash live action movie. Oh god!
It would make just as much sense as the Sonic live action movie.
Just make it computer animated. Just do that way. It's way better
I was
than
gonna
that.
say Ratchet and Clank, but there's already a movie.
I don't know if I don't even think it was even a good movie at all.
I don't know.
If it was released okay, but yeah, I there's a lot of properties out that haven't made successful movies or ones we haven't gotten yet in a long time. I think they're not. And I know you guys are gonna feel bad at me because you're not really a big fan of the series. You know he's still making more of them. But the FNAF movie, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, it's gonna happen. I'm excited for that. There's a lot more Five Nights at Freddy's content, but that's just like one of my favorite horror series. About robots coming to life to kill you kind of thing. But making a movie off of it. Chris Columbus is directing it.
Christopher Columbus?
Yeah, it's
I feel
still
sorry
a
for
long
an actor.
process. Scott Cawthon, who made the Fun and Freddy's series, he's partnering with a bunch of big studios, but also Chris Columbus, who's going with Blumhouse Productions. He's making
Columbus. Sailed the ocean blue in
the guy who made the Harry Potter movies, the first two. He's directing the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. So
I still can't believe they're actually making that.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm a big Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Always have been.
Well, we know
You know
that.
what? I was even more shocked to find out that they were making
What?
What
the goddamn what was it again? The Slender Man movie.
Oh,
Oh
that.
God, no! I just didn't. I even bother with that.
I'm not bothering that
Yeah.
or Five Nights. Five Nights scares the shit out of me.
Five Nights,
hasn't
the
seen
fan
more.
base fucked it up.
Well, is it actually?
It's a really
some of
interesting
the fans.
concept, but like the
Some of
fans,
the
Five
fans
Nights at Freddy's
don't like it.
reminds me of like a 90s point and click game.
it
Yeah.
kind of does the way it looks.
Yeah, well, it is that
Especially
during that
like,
period, so
I kind of like it actually.
it's just been
sort of
it's just been so successful with that. So a movie would be great, but that's just one example. Another example, I don't know. They haven't a Frogger movie. I'm just kind of putting out
About
What?
what
a
would
Frogger
they,
movie. I'm just putting out little small properties you haven't really gotten.
what
a
would
movie
that
yet.
movie even be about?
They actually talked about that. Like, really, they talked about that a couple years ago.
Why?
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue.
Wow.
Pac-Man
That would be
movie?
weird.
Is that a thing?
I don't remember about Pac-Man. I wouldn't be
Wow.
surprised though.
Me neither. I wouldn't.
I don't know.
surprised either.
Are there any other video games you would love to see making, be it like a movie or again a show or anime thing? I haven't really heard of ideas with that kind of thing. There's a
Well,
lot of
if you're
them,
talking about ones that have not been made into one as of yet,
yeah,
I mean, there have been a couple of different movies of Dead Space, so that one's already
Dead
been
Space,
taken care of.
Dead Space.
yeah.
There was one kind of a hour movie, Mass Effect that they did. However, it was just a one little story
Yeah,
of a character that no one really even likes to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, I do, but he's not really the most popular one in the world, and is
Yeah,
only
of
introduced
course.
in 3, and just why him? But anyway,
Mhm.
that's a story we didn't want, but we got it anyway.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Would it be comparable to making a Mario movie entirely about Toad?
Oh, that would be weird.
That
Yes and no. I mean, the character.
that movie.
So the character is Vincent Vega, and they allude to the stuff
Yes.
they allude to it, and yes, it's fun. If you enjoy the series, it is a fun show to watch. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but he's not the most popular in the world, and it was just kind
Yeah.
of yes. I'm glad that we see the story, but unless you love the series like I do, you're not really going to like it very
Yeah,
much.
definitely.
But
there's
still,
just a lot
just
of-
nods that they had in it though were fucking badass. I mean,
Definitely, yeah. There's a lot out there you can make into a series or a movie or anything like that.
But another property I think that they really need to do is the Knights of the Old Republic.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, we're also talking about like the ones that are like they haven't gotten a universe of movies yet. So that's a good point. You bring up a solid point. I haven't personally finished the first one because I took a break from it, but that would still be really cool. I would definitely be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, same here. I haven't been able to finish the games yet either.
Well,
But
mainly because it's just been really hard, but it's physically really, really hard.
I've just been getting fucking busy.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but yeah, I don't know. If any of you have any other video games you love to play that could get movies or something like that?
I can't remember if they ever did an animated.
Oh, you
thing
go.
Of, I can't remember if they ever did an animated thing of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. They might have.
They could do that. Well, actually, I think they did actually for like the Chronicles. I think they did a.
I know there's a
animated thing like that.
manga, but I don't remember if there's an animated adaptation or not.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot that you can work with that.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, in terms of new games that have come out that are really good, I really haven't heard of anything that have been solid. Like anything on the Xbox or but one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Minecraft movie.
What would that even be about?
I don't know.
Besides,
They're
like,
they're supposed to be making one. They're supposed to be making one eventually. I don't know when
I'm
they're gonna do
surprised.
it.
Honestly, I'm
I'll figure
surprised it
about
didn't get made like 6 years ago.
Yeah, they could do that though. They could. That would be really interesting.
Yeah, one word for it.
I guess. I mean, it's one of the most popular games on the internet. So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't expect it not to get some kind of like game like that.
Well, here's the thing: as long as they don't make a live
Yeah.
action, I'm
Oh
good.
God, that'd be weird.
Oh, you know what would actually be really, really cool?
Hello.
If any of you played the game or seen the game Shadow of the Colossus,
Yes,
I haven't played it, but I know
it's
of
like
it.
a really legendarily good game.
It's
I think
really awesome, actually. That's the kind of game I would like to see be
That would be
adapted into
interesting.
a movie. Because I've seen a lot of people play games like that on their channels, and to see it as a live action movie would be really. Oh, you know what? We really even crazier. This
What?
would kind of be a pointless endeavor. A Sims movie.
Oh, what?
a Sims movie.
I just thought of it suddenly. Yeah.
Yeah,
knew
so
what
is this about
What
soccer
was
versus
that?
going people's lives?
No, I think it would be a stupid thing. I mean, those are like things like the shooters like Battlefield, Call of Duty, all that kind of stuff. Things like
I
that.
could see movies like that. They would just be generic war movies, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It would definitely be very interesting to have that. But those are just
Yeah,
a few
no
ideas that I
shit.
have in my mind for like random games that we could get that haven't been adapted yet. But a Minecraft movie sounds weird.
Yeah,
want to be a
it
thing.
does.
That doesn't sound right.
Very
I don't
much.
know. I don't know if I would watch that.
Me neither.
I would be more
I-
frightened than anything else.
Probably, yeah.
Like, what would they do in the movie? Like they just like mine stuff.
It's just like 12 hours of soothing mining noises.
I don't know. I mean, heck, Minecraft did a
No.
story mode, so they could do that.
I have a better idea. I have a better idea for how
Yeah.
they do that.
Yeah.
Crocodile Hunter in Minecraft. Crocodile Hunter story. Mikey, this is what's going on.
Steve's looking
It's a
away.
creeper.
Oh yeah.
And we just found a diamonds.
Yeah, I can see that, but like I also know that the one because
And it could end with the Steve Irwin character dying to a stingray, just like he did in real life.
I think the interesting thing about
No,
video
this
games.
is a squid instead.
I think the interesting
Squid,
thing
yes.
about video games
Yes,
becoming
my
movies
squid.
are we never actually get ones that actually become a whole like film series. We get one or maybe two, and that's it. Like never we've gotten like a multiple film series based on a video game like ever.
That's
Never
true.
been like that, which kind of sucks because like I
Wait,
want
wait,
to see
wait,
like
wait,
a
wait, 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 wait. There are multiple Resident Evil movies.
And
No,
there are
I'm
multiple
not-
Tomb Raider movies.
Yeah, well, again, those are rebooted though. They keep rebooting the movies.
No,
Those are Tomb Raider
there
movies.
was a sequel to the original one with
I
Angelina
know,
Jolie.
I'm talking about like they haven't made more than one or two in a series of a video game movie, really.
They did. Tomb
Yeah.
Raider.
I'm
They
saying
had
that
a sequel.
they only made one sequel though. They didn't make two.
That's
what I'm talking
not what you asked. but
That's not
okay.
what you asked. You asked
Did I
about
not?
sequel.
Oh, I
They
guess I-
had a sequel.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway, that's kind of what I meant. But
They had a fucking sequel.
Good
They're the
God.
only
I don't
video
know.
movie that I know of. But yes, they had a fucking sequel.
also thinking about classic games, like it would be really awesome. I mean, this is
What?
one of the Valve properties. Portal,
Half-Life movie?
Half-Life. Yeah, exactly that kind of stuff.
They
should
can't
make a
even
movie.
make
Team Fortress
Half-Life
2.
3. What makes you think they're gonna make a Half-Life movie?
They should make a Half-Life 1 movie or a Portal movie. Come
I
on.
think that would just
Or you
piss
know what
people
they
off.
should do instead? They should do
Yeah.
instead because Half-Life and Portal, they're in the same universe.
Yeah.
They
They
are?
should just, yeah,
What?
they are.
What?
Yeah. They are.
Just make a TV series about the entire incident and whatnot. Pretty much the entire games that both of them combined.
Yeah, because they're both awesome. Because again, this is gonna sound like how when I played that game in 20 years because I wasn't alive. I was 2.
Yes.
But Half-Life turned 20 years here, and I haven't played the
Wow.
original game. I was 2. Don't blame me.
Congratulations, you were too. No shit.
So like, yeah,
I mean, I might watch things in the 30s when I was
I-
3 years old,
I
but
played like maybe half the game, but I just haven't finished it yet. But I could see. I mean, I think you think about the games that have like the silent protagonist. we'd be a little hard because Shell, silent protagonist. Gordon Freeman, silent protagonist. Oh heck, Faith from Mirror's Edge, silent protagonist. There you go.
Link.
Link
Link
and
is silent.
Red.
No. He would go.
Yeah, no, it sounds like he's trying to take a shit all the time.
It would be him, but like
Constipated.
I know that people have made like fan-made like films of the Portal game, which would have been really cool. But
Yeah.
I would love to see a Portal movie. I would love to see that. That would be really cool. You know,
That
Valve
would be
is-
pretty cool, actually.
At this point, Valve doesn't even make games anymore. So that, at this point, in terms of like making a more Half-Life games, it'll be a fan-created thing where it's like
I think there was something on Kickstarter like years ago that was like, we're gonna make Half-Life 3. Or no, it was Shenmue. Never mind.
The interesting thing about that was last year was the 10th anniversary of announcing Half-Life 3. I don't know. I think it was Half-Life 2 Episode 3. It was like 10 years ago we announced the game. It's never gonna happen. Yeah, we're not gonna make a movie. Sorry, we're not gonna get that. But I think it'd be really interesting. You know, if they made all these Valve titles, like because PC games they don't get a lot of love. They don't
That's
get enough
true.
love from like movies and stuff. I mean, they're still get like they have
Tomb
a
Raider
full
was
fan base, but as a actual enough to get a movie, not really. Like we haven't really gotten a whole lot of PC games to movies yet. Especially like the MMOs or Final Fantasy or anything like that. Big ones like that.
Didn't Warcraft get turned into
I
a
say
movie?
that every
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was terrible. I heard it was terrible though.
Wow.
I heard from some people that they loved it. Some people say that they hated it, but
I know that Angry Birds got a movie, and it had the start of Smosh in the movie, which I heard it was terrible anyway. I heard it was awful because it's not Angry Birds. It's not supposed to do Angry Birds apparently, but it was a movie. But I would definitely want to see a Portal movie. That would be really good. I love Portal myself. I'm a big Portal fan, so that would be really cool. But yeah, I'm really excited for what we could get in the future if we do get one. I think that I would love to see a lot more live action series from video games because they're always fun. The problem is with live action from a video game is not all. It doesn't always work out. Based off the style of the video game, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like again, like I was saying before, a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, that would be weird. I just
That'd be
couldn't see
creepy.
it. I mean, seriously, they would have to like CGI
Gotta
Sonic
go
and have.
fast.
Gotta
I
go
think if they would do that,
fast.
they would need to
Gotta go
do like
Gotta fast.
they would
Yeah,
need to
chili nuts.
CGI Sonic and then have like a live action actor in the scene with him, like an Eggman. That would be weird.
just wearing
I
a
feel like
fast
any
suit
live
every
action
time.
Sonic movie would turn out like Sonic 06.
Yeah, they could do a computer.
I would
animated
watch a movie
Sonic
based
movie.
off Sonic 06.
I would too, but only because it's bad, and I would laugh at it.
Yeah.
So all Sonic 06 was another game that they just made into a Sonic game at the last minute.
And I think also like the classic retro games, they haven't really gotten a movie like Space Invaders.
There's not much to go off of there.
Yeah, I mean
I'm just-
they kind of made one. It's called Pixels.
Yes, exactly.
I actually like that movie. It was actually really fun.
I haven't seen it. I heard a lot of bad things about it.
I
I've
love
seen
it.
it.
I-
I've seen
I-
it. It's okay.
It's fun. I really liked it. It was really fun. But
I just
That's
liked
just, like,
it. That's
a
just
lot
me.
of classic games we haven't really gotten, to see any kind of adaptation with. Because I mean, some games, some games don't need an adaptation. They just don't need to be adapted to a live action movie or
Yeah.
animated or anything like that. They just need to remain the way they are. But some things like Pokemon, yeah, I can see that. That can work.
There's
Especially
actually
if
a
the-
story.
If the Detective Pikachu movie works out, they can do more of them. Like they actually do based off the games. They could have Ash Ketchum in there. That would be weird. And that would not be Poke Pals because that was awful. That made fun of the show in a way. So it was like it literally made fun of the show. It was horrible. It was like, come on, what is this garbage? But what really makes me really angry, I mean, angry because I'm like, come on, people, is when you have a movie like Assassin's Creed or Tomb Raider, which looks amazing, and then people decide that, oh yeah, it's shit. Like, it wasn't based off it didn't follow the video game.
Therefore,
what?
it's bad. Yeah.
It's it's okay to have a video game adaptation that's original. It don't have
It's
to.
just like a reimagining,
Especially
man.
if you've already played any of the games, and then you go to see the movies. Like I played like a little bit of this game. It was pretty good. Oh, they're making a movie about it. Oh, it's an original story. Awesome. You know, that's I like original stories, especially when it's a video game. You know, because
Yeah.
sometimes it just doesn't work to have a directed adaptation like from a video game. It just works weirdly.
I just say it depends entirely on the property itself. Mass Effect, I keep coming back to it. Please.
Yeah, like you're saying, Mass Effect. I played enough of that game to really understand. I mean, I haven't played all of it, but I played a good chunk of the game, and I think
Which
that
one have you played? 1, 2,
Guys,
What?
guys,
What?
for a second. Jim Carrey, Dr. Eggman in the live-action Sonic
What?
movie.
Oh yeah, I
Oh
heard about
my
that.
god!
Yeah, yeah.
I could see that.
What?
Jim Carrey is Eggman in the Sonic movie that's happening.
Oh my god,
weird.
that'd be horrible. That would be
That'd be
horrible.
weird.
That
Oh
sounds
my
like
God.
the ultimate 90s.
I feel
movie.
like it could work though.
That sounds
Yeah.
like the ultimate 90s casting.
Like just fever dream, yes.
If they
Yeah, like you were.
Yeah.
Like you were saying before about Mass Effect, I've played only a small portion of the first game because it's just hard. It's hard to get through because it's very long. But I get to definitely see like what they did with Halo, where they did the web series Halo Fortress Dawn, where they made the Covenant all CGI. That was good. That was a good job because they couldn't imagine doing live action Covenant. That would be really hard. So in this case, Mass Effect, all the aliens you see in the game, the Asterians, I don't know all the alien species.
Turians, Solarians, Krogan.
Yeah.
The Hammer would be a real bitch, but they'd be awesome puppets.
But if you could see that kind of like thing, that they didn't do all CGI, because CGI sometimes gets overwhelming CGI sometimes. It can be a bit too much.
I think that for a lot of it, if they kind of go back to the roots of puppetry and animatronics, I think that they could do a real tremendous job.
I think that's to do a
Because
lot
the people that made the actual movies and whatnot, or made the games, they had every single character basically looking as very similar to one another.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The only ones that have like real big ass differences are an occasional of each species and humans. They even say it multiple times in there that humans are the most genetically diverse of all the other species in the galaxy. So they could easily pour the same molds for all their different characters and just make them have a lot of fun with it. And I think that they should go in, if they were to make a live action series, I think they should go in, adjust some of the different molds, maybe give characters a scar here or a pimple there.
A pimple?
They could really make it their all with that, especially with Mass Effect. And it'll actually be relatively simple. But yeah, CGI would also be a necessity, unfortunately. Or go back to model making. It worked for Star Wars. It can work very easily for a show like that. All they just need is that to touch it up. You don't need to have all these. Actually, I think that if they went completely and utterly CGI, that would probably take away from the experience more than anything else.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that more practical effects is very important for when you adapt a video game, because sometimes when you adapt a video game, people just do CGI the entire time and it's just not as good.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to have CGI for alien creatures. That's important. But
oh yeah, you have to. A good example. Have you ever seen the show Farscape?
I have heard of it. I've
unfortunately never had a chance to finish the entire series. I got probably about 3/4 of the way there, and unfortunately, I had other things come up. I was moving at the same time, so I didn't have a chance to finish it. But it was a Jim Henson TV show. And yes, the puppetry at that time was, you could tell they are puppets. And the and everyone just had all these different prosthetics on them every day that they came into work, and there was a bunch of other characters that were CGI'd. And I mean, when you saw the CGI, I mean, it was the freaking early 90s, so it was bad CGI. But it made the show very unique. And because we have all this technology now, I mean, with a lot of different TV shows that we have nowadays, they could easily make something like Mass Effect with that. Easy.
And then when you because again, the technology has gotten really good now, so you can end up having beautiful CGI. It's just like, wow, you could be like eye-popping CGI, like, wow, that's just impressive.
But I just think that if they are going to make one, they need to use something that's more realistic. Use the CGI to touch it up, yes, but it doesn't need to be just entirely CGI or entirely prosthetics.
Man, remember when
Like,
freaking Avatar came out and it was like the height of like CGI technology?
Oh
You know
yeah,
they're
that was
actually making 2
And now you watch
No,
it
they're
again
making
and
3
it
of
actually
it.
looks slightly,
they're
slightly
making
dated.
2 more, yeah. But I think that I personally, the one thing I would love to see is a live action Legend of Zelda movie, because we almost got one, but it would turn out to be a complete hoax. But I think that could be accomplished pretty well, because they could use a lot of CGI, or they could use a lot of practical effects, because a lot of things in that game, maybe the monsters are CGI with that, but most of the game you can do live action, you can do practical things with that. But that's just an example right there. But yeah, that's all I really had to say for this topic. I just think it's a very interesting idea, because especially if you grew up on classic video games, or even newer ones like Halo or something like that, it's always fun to see, what would it be like if they got, if they got a movie, if they got a movie based off the game, or you had a movie based off like an original concept like Assassin's Creed, for example, or Tomb Raider, which had an original story inspired by the game. But hey, just a very interesting idea. So, would any of you out there still have anything about video games becoming movies that you'd like to talk about? I think we've covered everything that I can think of. I'm sure that we're missing some of them, but I'm pretty sure we've gotten everything.
I think so.
Steven, do you have anything?
No.
Okay. All right. You don't know. I'm not gonna pressure you. Just really curious.
I just want to see Jim Carrey in the Sonic movie. That's
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Start the prediction!
No, he's
That
actually
sounds
already
so
been
bad.
cast.
Oh my god.
I know, that's so weird.
I can actually, I'm picturing it right now. Like,
I'm
Carrey
hyped for this
and
movie now.
Eggman makeup and costume stuff.
I can
And he's all
see
like,
I think it would work.
Ooh, Sonic.
Yeah, of course.
I think it could actually work. It just sounds like a funny headline.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I definitely feel like some movies don't work well as a live action.
Yeah.
They just don't. But we'll see. We'll see about the future of movies and how it'll work out.
This is
But
gonna be a-
Tomb Raider, that was successful. But anyway, I think it's gonna do for this episode, because I really have nothing else I can say about the subject, because we've pretty much tapped our topic out of its use that we can do. I'm sure there'll be more ideas about this we can explore in future episodes, but I think that's a good time to wrap up. So yeah, thank you all so much for listening to this episode of The Madhouse. We all hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button. We all really do appreciate the support. And if you're to this channel, please subscribe for more episodes of this podcast and other series that I do. Also, make sure you click that bell to enable alerts so no miss my uploads. And in the meantime, make sure to subscribe to Bigdinoguy and Chakky. The links will be in the description. And we will be back next time with another episode. All right. Bye-bye.
All right.
Get away, motherfucker.